The Pentagon today downplaying the buildup of Russian forces on the border with Ukraine. U.S. officials say they are not characterizing recent troop movements as massive, adding that the buildup has occurred over a period of time. But Ukrainian officials warn that some 40,000 Russian troops are stationed along the border. President Vladimir Putin also raising concerns from Ukrainians with a trip to Crimea today, his fifth visit since the peninsula was annexed 2 years ago. Joining me right now, General Keane, a retired four-star general, chairman of the Institute for the Study of War, and a Fox News military analyst. General Keane, welcome.
Good to be here, Trish.
All right, what's Putin up to here?
Psychological warfare. He's a master at it. He's creating a false claim in Crimea that the Ukrainians are conducting terrorist operations there. He's justifying the movement of the troops based on that. And what he's seeking here is a couple things. One, he desperately wants to get back to a negotiating table so he can get his sanctions removed. And number two, he's got elections coming up next month of the Duma and also regional elections. His party's on the table. He wants to do well. He wants to appear to be on the world stage, strong and in control. So these are some of the motivations that are taking place. And he's had our number for some time, Trish, and he just plays us around like a ping pong ball.
Yeah, he's been able to really live it up for the last 8 years. And he may be thinking to himself, he might as well do it as long as he can because you don't know what's coming next. In terms of the ability of him to have leverage in order to get rid of the sanctions, is that what it is, or do you fear that he has something bigger in mind? Does he want to take over all of Ukraine?
I think what he really wants to do is undermine the Western support for Ukraine, the European support, the United States support. He really doesn't want to own that country and all its economic and corruption challenges. That would be an absolute burden to him. He has already gained a lot by occupying Crimea and also being in eastern Ukraine because he's undermined the Kiev government quite a bit. So I think that's really his strategic objective. He wants a weak government in Kiev. He doesn't want it aligned with the West, and that's what a lot of this is about.
And General, you would have to think that he must be sort of sitting back and you know, maybe smiling a bit at the disaster Europe is in. I mean, both from an economic perspective in terms of the challenges that we have seen as a result of the European debt crisis, et cetera, but also, of course, General, as a result of the immigration tragedy that is happening there with more than 1 million migrants moving into Germany and all of the chaos that is thus ensued. I mean, how do you think he is seeing Europe through his prism right now as a result of those immigration struggles?
Yeah, they're all positives from his perspective. I mean, remember what his strategic objective is Russia has always looked at Eastern Europe as a buffer to protect the motherland itself. They had a Frenchman in the 19th century burn Moscow, and we had a German in the 20th century get within 30 miles of it. That is serious to them. It may not be to us, it may not be to Europeans, but it is dead serious for them. Their strategic objective is at some point to begin to influence and control those Eastern European countries. He has to break up the European Union to do that. He has to break up NATO to do that, and those are objectives that he keeps moving slowly towards.
Well, and let's face it, you know, Europe isn't doing itself any favors. In some ways, Putin doesn't have to do a whole lot. The breakup may, in fact, be coming as a result of all the immigration struggles and security concerns they have there. General Keane, always good to see you. Thank you, sir.